has struggled with increasing in weight or reduced activity levels, etc. So, but today's session is also relevant because we are in fact in the first few days of a new year, and this is the time that people typically set up new goals and new year resolutions. So, it's one of the most common goal to become fit, to lose weight, or become healthy. So some more participants have joined us. So I would like to welcome each one of you. As most of us are aware that for the last few months, we have been conducting various talks and workshops on varied topics. Today, we have our two experts to discuss this very important matter. So our first panelist for today is Dr. Rajiv Anand. He's a senior psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, and a marriage counselor practicing in Mumbai for the past 40 years. He is the founder and director of Inner Light Counseling Center, Mumbai. Dr. Rajiv Anand's 4 decades of experience has revolved around people's emotional well-being, and through these years and workshops, he simplifies the many concepts in psychology and also shares simple practical tips and suggestions for each one of us in community programs. Over the years, Dr. Rajiv Anand has conducted more than 3,000 talks and workshops at different platforms. I welcome you, Dr. Anand.
Sure. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Our second panelist for today is a well-known dietitian who comes with 10 years of experience in her field. Her name is Ms. Neha Kawa. Neha is a registered dietitian and a nutritionist with a postgraduate degree in nutrition and dietetics. She also has a certification in sports nutrition. Her decade-long experience has been in clinical nutrition and weight management. She also specializes in nutrition planning, diet planning, and community health talks. So we have two experienced professionals from two very different fields, and here we are discussing the issue of managing our weight from two perspectives, from a psychiatrist and a dietitian. The relationship between the mind and the body is known to most of us, but I'm eager to learn from our speakers today about how we can balance the mind and food for a positive impact on our body and overall health. So my first question for today is for Dr. Rajiv Anand. Well, today we all are talking about weight. So, what makes weight such an important topic or matter for everybody to worry about? Everybody is concerned about his or her weight. So, Dr. Anand, I would like to ask you, why is it that for most people, physical weight or how we look is really an important issue?
Yes, good question, Pooja. For last many decades, I've been observing in the society that there is hardly any individual who is not bothered about the weight. We all are obsessed about weight. We want to look good. Nothing wrong with that. We want to look attractive, perfectly fine. We also want to be good looking and slim and trim and fit, perfectly fine. But we do not want to know how to be systematically and scientifically. I've been watching for last 35, 40 years. They have been one after another business organization come. Many of you would remember in 80s, there used to be an organization called Shere Louis. And they had advertised aggressively. And many people joined that program. And thereafter came the body reps. And thereafter came one after many. So in the society, there have been many programs. If you open the internet, if you just type on the weight loss on the internet, you would find hundreds of programs, hundreds of things being offered to you. So being obsessed with the weight is human nature. Nothing wrong with that. But then just remaining obsessed, just remaining concerned, just making it a part of your anxiety profile is not enough. To do something, most people stop at worrying about it rather than doing beyond something. And please understand right in the beginning, which I would be repeating also in the course of the program, anybody offering you quick fix solution for weight reduction, anybody asking you 10 kg in 1 week or 20 kg in 2 months. All this is hogwash. All this is focus. All this is business gimmicks. All this is just selling points. Weight loss is always unarguably a long-term program. Weight loss is a long-term program. Weight loss is not a short-term program. But then short-term program can be aggressively sold, marketed, and there are enough people who buy it and waste their money. We have seen people who have spent 30, 40, 50,000 rupees, a lakh or so in those gimmicks, and certain powders or certain medicines or certain other formulas are sold, and it gives us pain. The weight loss or weight maintenance is a more appropriate word. That's why we selected the topic for today is weight management. We haven't said the word weight loss, weight management. And my colleague Neha Kawa, expert in this field, would also be throwing light on this. What exactly we mean by the word weight management? Somebody may have 10 kg more weight. He has the right to maintain that, provided he maintains it without going 10 kg further and going 20 kg back. That your diet is most harmful. Weight management, if you're active, if you're healthy, if you're reasonably energetic, if you're agile, good enough, even if you're 5 kg more. Over to you.
My second question is to Neha ma'am. Uh, since you work with so many people through their diets and weight loss journey, according to you, what is the ideal weight for everyone? And is there some standard or there are some practical criterion?
Thank you, Pooja, for the question. Definitely, we have a BMI chart. So, BMI is basically your height and weight ratio, which definitely tells us that according to your height, what should be the weight. Okay. So, but I would say it's an old school practice because there just height and weight is taken into consideration. Whereas there are people with different body frames. For example, like people with narrow frames, broad frames, so mesomorph, ectomorph, endomorph. So all these characteristics should also be taken care when you come to ideal body weight. Okay, so you cannot just give that, okay, 160 centimeter person should be falling between 60 to 70 kgs of weight range. That doesn't go with everyone. You have to see what is the body composition, what is the body made up of. Depending upon the composition of the body, we come to a health goal that, okay, your fat percent is high, your muscle mass is low. So you need to reframe your body. Just losing fat without recomposing your body will not give you long-term results. So weight loss is like, I would say that weight is no more a digit which specifies whether you are healthy or you are unhealthy. So what your body is made up of. For an athlete, he would have greater muscle mass, and at the same time his weight would be, of course, on the higher range and falling into obese category, but that doesn't mean he is obese. He has higher muscle mass, so that is the reason his weight is high. So we see the composition of the body and not just the weight. Over to you, Pooja.
No, Neha, I would like to add something, Pooja, before you come in, that losing weight is very simply achievable over a period of few weeks. Losing weight is not that big a problem. Even those who fall sick, those who are having fever, those who are bedridden, those who have some other problem, over next few weeks, they can lose 5, 10, 15 kg weight. Maintaining that loss of weight is the most Herculean task. And there only 20% people succeed in maintaining loss of weight. 80% go back.
Yeah, so I would like to add on. So when you don't change the composition of the body, like I said, that if your body is having lesser muscle mass and higher fat mass, so if you just focus on reducing the fat mass with different kind of fat diets, or taking aggressive treatment, so you will be able to get rid of the fat. And if you're not building muscle mass, okay, so that weight will always come back because you have not changed the composition of the body. So it is very important that you boost up your metabolism by increasing the muscle mass in your body so that the weight doesn't come back.
And that requires lifestyle modification.
Lifestyle modification and a long-term goal. It is not a short-term, it is not a temporary goal what you should be working at.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ms. Neha, for such a valuable input. So my third question is for Dr. Rajiv Anand. So, being a doctor and from a medical perspective, do you think medicines can be of much help in weight loss?
As I said a few minutes back, most often medicines or anything which is packed as medicine is a gimmick because it has a lot to do with psychology or the personality or the relationship with food or how much we are working actively to keep ourselves slim trim. Please remember those who are listening very intently. D, D, and D. D, D, and E. D is for diet, about which Neha is expert. I'm not. Second, D is detoxification. Detoxification. We all have eaten so much of sweet and chocolate and so much of desserts and so much of food over the years, over the last 30, 40, whatever the age. We all have accumulated a lot of calories inside, which are lying within us and which are really toxic to us, so toxic to our health. We have to detox that. So D first is for diet, about which you would be hearing more from Neha, detoxification, and then E is for exercise, constantly doing some exercise. Now, this is all a part of lifestyle modification for the long term. Now, no medicine prescribed by anyone coming from any part of the world, whichever way it is packaged by any multinational company or being given by any kind of pathy, I'm not naming any pathy particularly, may be a short term solution. Maybe it could help you 20%, but 80% is your own willpower. 80% is your own sincerity, your own tenacity, your own motivation, your own willingness to continue focusing on how to lose weight and how to maintain.
Thank you, Dr. Anand, for I think the DDD concept is really eye catching for all of us. So, my fourth question is to Neha, ma'am. People pay a huge fee for many weight loss programs, or be it a coach or other gimmick selling in business enterprises. How genuine or helpful are they?
Thank you, Pooja. This question was very important for this session. Okay, I would really request all the participants that if you are keen on taking any advice on your diet, on your health, lifestyle, any issues with your health, kindly approach a qualified person, because nowadays like any xyz person is coming up with a supplement background, and they try to focus on losing weight, and they try to promote themselves as they are health coaches, but actually they are not health coaches. It is just they have, because they have some knowledge of the supplements, they try to pitch in the supplements. Okay, and they try to tell you that okay, you can lose weight, but what you need to check is what they are advising. Is it something which you can take ahead, or you can practice for lifetime? Whenever we talk about diet, so it is not about eating boiled food, eating less or anything like that. Diet means whatever you eat is your diet. So your diet should be something which is close to your traditional eating habits, and staying in that traditional eating habits, it should give you results. So balanced, if you are following a balanced diet, then you don't need to follow any kind of restrictions. Yes, of course, if you're eating junk, too much of sugar in the food, too much of maida, eating too occasionally, so these are some practices which needs to be taken care of. So we focus on developing more of habits than prescribing any xyz diet on the paper, because whatever is there on the paper, it should be so realistic that you can follow it lifelong. Only if you can see that in your diet chart, that means that diet is correct for you. Any person tells you okay, morning you have to have this shake, afternoon you can eat, evening again you have to have this shake. This is not a regular eating practice. You can do it for a shorter period of time, but what when you start eating again? Okay, so whatever is your goal has to be on a lifelong basis. Your lifestyle changes is more important to manage your weight. What we look at is not just weight loss, it is something which should stay with you for a longer period of time. And even if you are coming to a dietitian, it should be a one time practice. Okay, it shouldn't be that, okay, you have gone to a dietitian, you lost 10 kgs weight, you leave everything, you again gain 10 kgs weight, then again you go to another dietitian to lose that 10 kgs weight. No, if that is happening, that means something is definitely wrong. So a dietitian should be capable enough to make you that knowledgeable that you can manage your weight on your own.
Neha, you have very aptly put forward this view that one thing that these days, because of social media, everybody has an opportunity to declare himself, appoint himself, promote himself as coach, health coach, diet coach, weight loss coach, and sell the various kind of powders, various kind of supplements being brought.
Yes, sir.
And they put the photographs of the people who have been helped by that. Certainly, as I said, if I fall sick for a month, I would lose 5 kg weight. Whether I take the supplement, don't take the supplement, a month later, I would be looking slimmer and chipper, but after having fallen sick. But can I maintain this for next 1 year? So, as I said in the beginning, weight loss in beginning is not that important. Let nobody appoint himself as an expert. Only dietitian are the expert. As regards second point, what you said, I would like to elaborate further. Anything what you can maintain for long term, food. Can you survive on that food? Or can you survive on the supplement for years? No, because very soon you would feel like going back to your, as you very rightly use the word, traditional food. So long-term weight management is a matter of going in depth, understanding your life itself, understanding your own personality, various vata and kapha and pitta, understanding your various things like tejas and prana and that energy, all that matter, and then planning, sitting with someone, and which you can slowly manifest into your behavior, into your choices. So people who have genuinely lost weight, they happen to be 1 out of 5. Remaining get lost on the way, on the highway to the weight loss. Over to you.
Totally. I think it has to be a lifestyle modification, because diet is not about eating less or cutting down on your intake. So my fifth question is for Dr. Rajiv Anand. What is the role of personality or one's own emotional state or lifestyle in weight management?
Okay, Pooja, we all love food, and there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. We are human beings world over. We often say about Gujaratis, or we often say about Punjabis, and Punjabi says about Bengalis, and Bengali say about Carnatic people. We all love food in some or other way, and there's nothing to be guilty about it. Loving food, nothing wrong. But then हम खाना खाते हैं, ये कब वो टाइम आ जाता है जब खाना हमें खाने लगता है. पहले हम खुद अपने आप से पूछे कि हम खाना खा रहे हैं तो हम खाना किस लिए खा रहे हैं? ताकि हमारी बॉडी हेल्दी रहे. हम खाना खा रहे हैं इसलिए खा रहे हैं ताकि हमें एनर्जी मिले. हम खाना खा रहे हैं इसलिए खा रहे हैं ताकि हमारी जो ड्यूटीज है, रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है, एक्टिविटी है, उनके लिए हमारे पास समुचित एनर्जी रहे. मगर कब ऐसा टर्निंग पॉइंट आता है बिना हमारे जाने हुए कि खाना हमको खाने लगता है? जिसके पास भी जिस तरह की फैट है, डबल चिन मेरे पास है, ये मेरे पास ऐसे चीक हैं, जिसके पास सेल्यूलाइट है, या जिसके पास थाइज में है, जिसके पास बम्प्स में है, जिसके पास पेट में सेल्यूलाइट है, कभी सोचा आपने वो क्या है? वो फूड है जो आपने खाया था, मगर आपने डाइजेस्ट करके उसको यूज नहीं किया. अगर मेरी उम्र मान लीजिए एक्स है, तो मैंने इतने सालों में जो फूड खाया था, शौक से खाया था, कोशिश से खाया था, लेकिन मैंने उसको एक्सरसाइज करके, डाइजेस्ट करके, एक्सरसाइज करके उसको यूज नहीं किया. वो मेरी बॉडी में इकट्ठा है. हो सकता है कि मेरी बॉडी में 10% एक्स्ट्रा हो, आपकी बॉडी में 25% एक्स्ट्रा हो. तो पहली बात तो ये कि वो फूड जो हम खाते तो हैं मगर खर्च नहीं करते. तो हमारा फूड से रिश्ता क्या है? अक्सर हम लोग ये कहते हैं तो फील गुड. चॉकलेट क्या कही जाती है? तो फील गुड. गुलाब जामुन का क्या कहा जाता है? तो फील गुड. मगर कभी हमने सोचा है कि कितना खाना है? और ये फील गुड वाली बात यहाँ पर समझना बहुत जरूरी है. हम कहते हैं कि हम खाना खाते हैं, खाना खा के हमें अच्छा लगता है, हमें खुशी होती है. शायद ही कोई रेयर व्यक्ति होगा, हाँ, अगर वो बीमार पड़ गया तो उसकी खाने के प्रति अभिरुचि नहीं रहती, उसको खाना देखकर इच्छा नहीं होती. बाकी हम सब लोग कहीं ना कहीं खाने की चीज देखकर एक बार देखते जरूर हैं. क्या है? जो नॉनवेज वाले वो नॉनवेज को देखते हैं, जो वेज वाले वेज को देखते हैं. तो हमारे अंदर खाने के प्रति रुचि है, वो एक हेल्दी एस्पेक्ट. मगर उस रुचि के ऊपर विवेक कब आएगा कि हमें कितना खाना है? अगर हमको 5 साल की उम्र में चॉकलेट हमको ज़बान पर टेस्ट देती थी, वो चॉकलेट आज भी टेस्ट देती है। बल्कि शायद इतनी डिकेड्स में चॉकलेट की क्वालिटी इम्प्रूव हो गई है। वो चॉकलेट आज भी हमारी ज़बान पर वही टेस्ट देती है जो 5 साल के बच्चे को देती होगी। वो गुलाब जामुन जब से 40 साल पहले जो टेस्ट देता था ज़बान को, वो आज भी टेस्ट देता है वही गुलाब जामुन। लेकिन क्या फ़र्क है? अब हमारे अंदर एक सेंसिबिलिटी आ गई है, मैच्योरिटी आ गई है कि हमें कितना खाना है। मैं 1 क्वार्टर गुलाब जामुन खा के रुक सकता हूँ, बिना उसको पूरा फिनिश किए, बिना किसी बेचैनी के। व्हाई? बिकॉज़ मेरे पास फ़ील गुड करने के लिए मुझे गुलाब जामुन को पूरा खाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। लेकिन शायद एक बच्चा कहेगा कि नहीं मैं तो पूरा खाऊँगा, या एक बड़ा बच्चा कहेगा जो 25 साल का होगा लेकिन अंदर से वो बच्चा है, वो कहेगा नहीं मैं तो 4 खाऊँगा। या दूसरा एक बच्चा होगा जो 50 साल का होगा, बोलेगा हमारे घर में तो 4-6 से कम गुलाब जामुन कोई खाता ही नहीं है। वो शरीर से बड़ा हो गया है लेकिन उसके अंदर वही प्रोग्रामिंग है। आप कभी सोचिएगा कि एक बड़ा-सा प्लेन जो होता है, बहुत बड़ा प्लेन होता है, उसको कहाँ से चलाया जाता है? छोटे से केबिन से, जिसको कॉकपिट कहते हैं। कितना भी बड़ा प्लेन हो, चलाने वाला स्पेस कितना है? बहुत छोटा-सा। आप कितने भी बड़े हों, आपकी पूरी लाइफ को चलाने वाला क्या है? आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड। आपके सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में किस चीज़ की कितनी वैल्यू आपने रखी हुई है। हमने बचपन से एक वैल्यू रखी हुई है कि कुछ खाकर हमें खुशी मिलेगी। ये हमने अपने सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को रिकॉर्ड कर रखा है कि कुछ खाएँगे तो खुशी मिलेगी। चलो आइसक्रीम खाते हैं, चलो हम ये मिठाई खाते हैं, चलो हम चॉकलेट खाते हैं। हमने हर सेलिब्रेशन में खाने पर जोर दिया है। कोई हमारे घर आए, हम उसको कितना प्यार करते हैं इस बात से है कि हम उसको कितना खिलाते हैं। हम खुश होते हैं तब खाते हैं, हम दुखी होते हैं तब खाते हैं। बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो डिप्रेशन में जाते हैं, तब ज़्यादा खाते हैं। नया इज़ अवेयर ऑफ मेनी क्लाइंट्स जो बेचारे जब एंग्जायटी में जाते हैं, तो कुछ ना कुछ खाते रहते हैं। डिप्रेशन में होते हैं तो कुछ खाते हैं, रोने का मन होता है तो कुछ खाते हैं, अच्छा मन होता है तब कुछ खाते हैं, मगर खाना उनकी प्लेट में उनके फील गुड का सोल फैक्टर है। उनकी इमोशनल स्टेट के जितने अप्स एंड डाउन्स होते रहते हैं, उसमें खाना उनके अंदर कमती बढ़ती होता रहता है। इमोशनल स्टेट यूनिफॉर्म नहीं रहती। तो पूजा ने सवाल पूछा, उसका प्रिसाइज आंसर ये है कि फर्स्ट वी हैव टू लर्न टू बैलेंस आवर इमोशनल स्टेट। ये जवाब मेरा थोड़ा सा लंबा है, इसके सेकंड पार्ट को मैं बाद में देना चाहूंगा। आई वुड लाइक नेहा टू कम।
Sir, also I would like to add the traditional habit of forcing over the meals. Like जो force करते हैं, हर एक parent है वो अपने बच्चों को force करेंगे कि नहीं ये तो खाना ही ये तो खाना ही चाहिए. So you know now maybe because of reading and stuff, the young people or the people who are readers who keep on reading, they know some like कि कितना पोषण खाना चाहिए, what is good, what is bad. But sometimes family doesn't support that कि नहीं हम लोग तो ये खाते ही है तो खाना ही चाहिए. और when you have guest over जैसे सर ने बताया कि कितना खाना बनता है, so you have to like it is a tradition. I would say that you have to force. First serving is the regular serving, then there is a second serving which is a forceful serving. Okay, so that practice is something which has to be stopped. Like food is for health, it is not for like you know that you force other person to eat.
Just to mention an example, I'm in a grandfather stage, so I have a granddaughter, 2-year-old. मैं उसको कुछ खिलाने के लिए जिद नहीं करता। मैं अपना प्यार उसको कुछ खिलाकर या चॉकलेट लाकर नहीं करता। मैं उसके सामने एक्सरसाइज करके उसको मोटिवेट करता हूँ। अगर मैं एक्सरसाइज करता हूँ तो वो मुझको देखकर करती हैं। तो शायद ट्रेडिशनली हम लोगों को हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमें खुश करने के लिए, हमें कम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, हमको अच्छा बच्चा बताने के लिए, हमको क्यूट बच्चा बताने के लिए हमको कुछ गिफ्ट ईटेबल्स के बारे में दी। तो हमने एक पैटर्न डेवलप कर लिया कि जो हमारे घर आएगा, मिठाई का डिब्बा लेकर आएगा, वो अच्छा इंसान है। जो बुक लेकर आएगा वो अच्छा इंसान नहीं है। तो ये पैटर्न हमने डेवलप किया है। हमें इस पैटर्न को धीरे-धीरे सिस्टमैटिकली अनडू करना है। और अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो हम विक्टिम रहेंगे। हम ढूंढते रहेंगे कोई नया चीज मिल जाए, कोई नया फॉर्मूला मिल जाए। बैक टू यू नेहा।
Sir, and till the time like we don't take hold of it, it is not going to change. So it would be my request to all the participants over here कि किसी को खाने के लिए force मत करिए. Everyone has different appetite, different choices and different requirements. जैसे एक फैमिली में भी सब लोग एक साइज के नहीं होते हैं because they have different composition, maybe genetic plays a role, their lifestyle plays a role, so there are too many factors. So like everyone's diet has to be different in terms of quantity. and depending upon their routine, their meals can also be changed. We are not supposed to force anyone to eat any certain kind of food, because everyone in the family have different body frame, body structure, they have different routine, they might have different genetics running in them. So if there is so much of difference, then there is like no point that everyone eats same quantity of food at the same time in the same proportion. So that liberty should be given to every person in the family, that they make their choice of food in terms of quantity at least. For children, definitely we can guide them, but for an adult, it should be a choice, should be given to them in terms of quantity and choosing the right food for themselves.
Moderation is the key. Just before Puja comes, moderation is the word. Moderation is the key. Everybody can eat anything and everything, but in moderation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Anand and Neha ma'am, for these informative tips. Now, my next question is for Neha ma'am. Like we all know, there are so many trends that come and go with diets. So, let us know a bit more about keto diet, which is being talked about so much these days. Is it healthy or extreme? What is your view on that?
Yes, Pooja, definitely another much required question here. So, keto diet, there is too much of flair on keto diet because, like, it gives quick fat loss results, weight loss results. So, this keto diet was invented for the epileptic patients, where we had to restrict the carbohydrate intake. So, keto diet, if you see, it has too much of fat. So, around 80% of your diet is 70 to 80% of your diet is from fat, and rest 20 and 10% from carbohydrates and protein. So this is not a balanced meal. You try to change the composition of the body, you are trying to go do it the unnatural way. You want to break that natural metabolism of the body, where energy is taken from carbohydrates. In keto diet, you force your body to utilize fat for energy. So you are going against nature. So keto diet definitely has many symptoms initially, till the time you go into the ketosis, which is a clinical condition and needs treatment. So keto flu, keto depression, these are few things which a person who is following keto diet undergoes.
Regarding keto diet, Neha, let me add to your wisdom, let me add to your experience that most people I have come across who are on keto diet, they are very anxious people. They become tense, they become anxious, and they're also pushing themselves to become obsessive, and they are pushing themselves to feel depressed at times because they expect results rather quickly. Human body is not directly like a car in which we can turn anywhere left and right. It takes time, but they try to control it in a very fast way. Even when we are riding, even when we are driving on the road, we can't suddenly take a right turn or left turn. We see what is there on left and right, or where the right turn is possible. But many of such things which become a fad, and this is not the first time the keto diet is one of the most popular fad, or vegan diet is the popular diet, or long back people used to refer to about GE diet, or so many other Atkins diet, and so many have come, stayed for a while, for a few years, and got washed out. I'm taking liberty of extending my answer a little longer. Why people have to eat? Because most people who are relatively younger in age, or even those people who have become little more in age, yet they have not looked into this aspect, that we have huge restlessness inside. Please listen every word carefully. We have huge restlessness inside, which is being pushed inside us, which is being uh, uh, marketed to us, which is being sold to us, which is being fed inside us through various kind of social media, various kind of advertisement, various kind of television program. Huge restlessness. As a result of that restlessness, huge restlessness, what we want to reduce this restlessness, and what the easiest method is to eat an ice cream, to eat a cake, to eat sweet, to eat chocolates, to eat different kind of cocktail, different kind of mocktail, different kind of dessert item, different kind of Belgium waffles, whatever, different kind of item keep on coming, because that makes you reduce your restlessness for a while. Now, till you go and pinpoint the source of this restlessness, you will not make long-term weight management. And this restlessness is a huge problem across the society, world over, not only in our society. So please take care that lifestyle modification want to expect you to go deeper into to where from this restlessness is coming. One of the reasons I'm driving with the point is the cosmos around us, the world around us, the nature around us has got a different cycle. And we are supposed to be in sync with that. Like sunset, good morning, mid, noon, sun over there, lunchtime, sunset, sunrise is the good morning, mid-noon, then sunset is the good evening, end of the time. So point is that we are supposed to be in sync with the nature side. What has happened over the last 25, 30 years, that our lifestyle has undergone so much of change. We watch TV till 12, 12:30. We take dinner late. We have no sync with the sun. We have no sync with the nature. We have spoiled our biology. We have spoiled our psychology. And being out of sync, we have pushed ourselves to become depressed, to become anxious, to become high strung, and also reduce our immunity. Because we are not in sync with the nature. We are not in the sync with the cycle of the nature. And as a result of that, we are accumulating huge restlessness or huge unrest. And that we want to address by eating. So number of restaurants keep on mushrooming, variety of food keep on coming. They keep on tempting us by sending their menu card, keeping the ad in the paper, and we keep on getting drawn towards it. Nothing wrong once in a while going to a restaurant. I also love to go. But where to stop? So I'm just giving you 3 keywords for you to research on that. Your body is not merely this body, what you are seeing, what you see in a photograph or in your passport size. Your body is energy body. To work at the source, energy body, that is the light body. And for that you have to work, you have to look into increasing your energy, enhancing your energy, and that is called prana, increasing your energy level. In as many as possible way you would learn when you research. And second part is that increase in energy should be followed by enabling transformation, that constantly the food you are taking, the food you are eating, the activity you are doing, whatever you are learning is constantly transforming you. Energy. First thing. Second is your transformation, and that is called tejas, transformation. And third is you are constantly undergoing change and growing. That is ojas. So prana and tejas and ojas. That would, haven't you seen some people who are Jain Munis? Haven't you seen some people who are saints? They eat less, लेकिन उनके चेहरे पर कितनी, एक वर्ड है हिंदी का जैसे गर्मा कहते हैं, कितना तेज होता है. वो लोग खाना बहुत ज्यादा नहीं खाते, उनके चेहरे पर अजीब किस्म का नूर होता है, फीडबैक होते हैं. So back to Pooja.
So actually not many of us know that when your body is at resting period, like when your stomach is empty, okay, that is the time when your body spends that energy in healing. So that is the overall mechanism of intermittent fasting, if anyone have heard. So that is the science behind that, that the period when you are fasting is the actual time that your body is healing itself. So body has its own healing mechanism. So that is the reason dinner should be the smallest meal, so that overnight your body is healing and it is completely in the reset mode to start the next day in a fresh manner.
पूजा, एक और बात जो आप अच्छी तरह जानती हैं, नॉट पूजा, नेहा.
Yes.
जब तक हमारी लाइफ में डीप स्लीप, साउंड स्लीप 7 hours and above की नहीं होगी, forget any weight loss program.
Yes, definitely.
जब तक हमारी लाइफ में डीप स्लीप, साउंड स्लीप 7 hours and above की नहीं होगी, forget any gimmick, short lived but not long term. क्योंकि उस डीप स्लीप में आपकी बॉडी रीजनरेट हो रही है. as mentioned by Neha.
Exactly my point, sir.
Over to you.
Thank you for these valuable inputs. Now, my next question is for Dr. Rajiv Anand. Why are most people unsuccessful in maintaining weight after losing a certain amount of weight? Or the theory to manage to lose, but possibly they lose motivation or drive and end up gaining all the lost weight back again.
See, most people's motivation is only short-lived. They don't want to work for the weight loss. They want medicine, they want gimmicks, they want dietitian, they want coach to work. They don't want to work. And their motivation is for a week or 2 or 3. Beyond that, it peters out. जैसे आप कोई दिया जला दें माचिस से, दिए को जला दें, जला के छोड़ दें, क्या वो दिया हमेशा जलता रहेगा? क्या अगर आप उसमें तेल नहीं डालेंगे? तो आपने अपना मोटिवेशन आपने जनरेट किया, फ्रेंड ने बताया, किसी ने बताया, डॉक्टर ने बताया, अपने डाइटिशियन यहाँ को ढूंढा, आपने कहा भाई ये वेस्टर्न सब की पॉपुलर डाइटिशियन है, ये जादू कर देंगे, मैं इनको भी दिखाया। आप उनके पास गए, आपने उनसे चार्ट बनवाया, आपने उनसे डिस्कस किया, उस चार्ट को लेकर घर में आए, आपने 4 दिन, 6 दिन, 8 दिन, 10 दिन, 15 दिन फॉलो किया। उसके बाद अगर आपकी लाइफ स्टाइल नहीं बदली, अगर आपका इमोशनल स्ट्रक्चर नहीं बदला, अगर आपके अंदर रेस्टलेसनेस का क्वांटम कम नहीं हुआ, अगर आपके अंदर इमोशनल स्टेबिलिटी नहीं आई, तो कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकेगा, क्योंकि 90% रोल तो आपका अपना है। 90% तो आपको करना है, और लोग तो गाइड कर रहे हैं। मैं 100 लोगों से पूछ लूं पूना जाने का रास्ता कैसा है, 100 लोगों से पूछ, मुझे 100 लोग बता देंगे पूना कैसे जाना है, लेकिन मैं यहाँ पूछता रहूं 100 लोगों से पूना कैसे जाना है, पूना का रास्ता क्या है, तो क्या उनके बताने से मैं पूना पहुंच जाऊंगा? नहीं पहुंचूंगा ना। चलना तो मुझे ही है ना, मुझे ही ड्राइव करना है ना पूना के रास्ते में। वहां पर ऑलमोस्ट 95% पीपल का मोटिवेशन सस्टेन नहीं रहता, and there they need motivation. Over to you.
Sir, would like to add on. So Pooja, I get many clients who will ask me कि आपके हिसाब से मेरा वजन कितना होना चाहिए, like what should be my ideal body weight, या मेरे inches कितने होने चाहिए. So I always reply them that whatever you are comfortable to see yourself in the mirror is your ideal body weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like very away from the fashion world, like we don't look out for zero figure definitely, but whatever you are comfortable to see yourself in any outfits is your ideal body weight. So that is the motivation everyone should have कि आपको खुद को जैसे देखना है, that should be your motivation.
And add to that, Neha, as you recommend to your clients, being energetic, being alive, being full of life, never feeling that lazy, lethargic, drained out. अगर हमने ऐसा कुछ वेट लॉस करके 10-15 किलो कम कर लिया और हमने उसको आइडियल की रेंज में ले आए, मगर हम थकेले हैं, हम मरेले हैं, हम गिरेले हैं, महाराष्ट्र भाषा जो है बॉम्बे की,
सर अगर सही तरीके से वेट लॉस होता है, if it is done in the right way, then you will
energetic,
of course have all these energies, high energy, good mood, you feel light, you feel like flying, and all these kind of energies are definitely there if it is done in the right way.
True. That's what the message should go around to everyone who is watching this program. Do it in the right way and get the results which would be the best result for you to last long, lifetime results, not for a few weeks. Back to the moderator.
Exactly. I think the perfect definition of ideal weight is being comfortable in how you look and how you feel. So my last question for today is for both Dr. Anand and Neha ma'am. So in today's era of internet, YouTube, etc., there are so many videos and short tips, shortcuts available for everybody. Are they really helpful? And what would you suggest as a guideline or caution for our audience?
पहले नेहा, वो उनकी नॉलेज इस मामले में मेरे से ज्यादा है. I bow down before you. Neha, first to you, then to me.
Thank you, sir. So there are n number of videos and information available definitely. So all these are general information. जो भी लोग try करते हैं, they try to put out and portray and promote themselves, और उन्होंने जो किया है, जो result आया है, वो हिसाब से वो videos बनाते हैं. But unless and until, जैसे मैंने बोला कि every individual is different. If that therapy or that recommendation is not for you as an individual, you shouldn't be following it blindly. अगर वो आपको लगता है कि आपको वो चीज की जरूरत, जैसे like not a obese person cannot follow a exercise regime which is for having 6 abs. वो achievable ही नहीं है, that is not realistic for that person to do. So you have to know whether this is a general information or it is giving you a specific result. If you are looking for specific result, then you shouldn't be following anything which is there on internet. I always say that internet, Google gives you information, it will not give you knowledge.
Neha is taking it further from you. हम लोग के पेरेंट्स के पास सो कॉल्ड नॉलेज उतनी नहीं थी, गूगल नहीं था, इंटरनेट नहीं था, इतनी बुक्स नहीं थी, मगर वो लोग प्रैक्टिस करते थे, जितना जानते थे वो लोग जितना जानते थे उससे कई कई गुना ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करते थे, और वो लोग खुशी से जीते थे, स्वास्थ्य से जीते थे। हमारी जनरेशन में नॉलेज बहुत है, बहुत नॉलेज है, मुझे भी पता है, मुझे वो भी पता है, मैंने वो वीडियो भी देखा है, मैंने वो भी देखा, मुझे माँ का प्रोग्राम पता है मुझे, लेकिन प्रैक्टिस में नहीं। तो वी आर लिविंग ए लाइफ विच इज टॉपसी टर्वी, उल्टा पिरामिड की तरह। पिरामिड को उल्टा कर दीजिए तो बेस कहाँ रहेगा? तो हमारे से अगली जनरेशन जो, उसके पास नॉलेज बहुत है लेकिन एक्शन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कम है। अगर आप 95% नॉलेज 5% एक्शन पर जी रहे हैं तो आप हमेशा दुखी रहेंगे, परेशान रहेंगे, बीमार रहेंगे, अनस्टेबल रहेंगे। आपने लट्टू देखा है ना उल्टा? लट्टू के नीचे कील होती है, ऊपर बेस होता है। वो लट्टू को या तो घुमा दौड़ते रहना है या वो गिर जाएगा। तो दौड़ते रहने का मतलब या तो वो रेस्टलेस रहेगा या वो गिर जाएगा, दो के अलावा बीच में कुछ नहीं है। तो हमारी नई जनरेशन जो है उसके पास नॉलेज का ऊपर वेट है लेकिन एक्शन कम, जबकि होना चाहिए 5% 10% knowledge, rest all action, action, action. So in the end, let us give a message, brief message in one line by me and by Neha. Know, learn as much as possible, but much more emphasize on action. Action. Do as much as possible action. Do as much as possible activity. Do as much as possible exercises. Do as much as possible introspection. Do as much as possible rectification, modification of your lifestyle which you have lived so far, and make sure that you are on the highway to the success of maintaining your weight for long term. Last sentence from Neha.
Sir, and let not anyone who is not qualified take charge of your health. Okay, if you are giving responsibility of your health to someone, then that person has to be supremely qualified to take care of you. If you feel that this person is not qualified, then his advice is zero for you.
You are your own worst enemy. You don't need anyone else.
Yeah.
अगर आपने अपना किसी ऐसे को दे दिया जिसको गाड़ी चलानी नहीं आती, आप उसकी गाड़ी में बैठे हैं तो वो आपको कहाँ ले जाएगा आपको खुद पता है। तो आप ड्राइवर से उम्मीद करते हैं ना उसका बैच हो, ड्राइवर हो।
On behalf of all our participants, I would like to thank Dr. Anand and Neha ma'am for providing such valuable inputs and amazing insights and explaining us basic concepts and tips. And I thank each and everyone for being a part of this workshop.